So now we're on the third day. Yesterday we got quite a lot of work done. We got all this cut out, the legs cut out into the rough shape. Because this is the edge of the tree here, we can't go any further out. And when we had the model here yesterday, her arm was naturally out quite far, too far for what we could fit in the tree. I'm just taking this chunk out here to bring the forearm up to this angle, because at the moment this big lump here is under there. So I've just taken this piece here out, which hopefully will come out fairly easily.
Wow. Yep. Brilliant. So where have we got up to now, Pete?
So this is the end of the third day. I'm pleased with it. We've got, I've actually tackled the legs, which was one of the hardest ones, because they're quite narrow around the ankles. So the position of them is very important. And the shoulders as well. This was something I was working on, getting that back, getting the chest and a nice curve there. Everything's much bigger than it will be in the final thing, which allows us to give it some movement and to work with the actual the outside edges. This is nice. This is we've got rid of all the sapwood on this side here, and this still is the intriguing top bit that I think is probably going to be the last thing we do. Once everything else is giving its message and staying in its position, then we'll work out what to do with this potentially very interesting hair or headdress or birds flying off the head or whatever happens.
Is there any issue with the rot in the arms?
They seem pretty good. We've got rid of most of them. This nice, you know, the bits where it's just started to rot and it's still got some of the cellulose cell walls are still there and strong. You've just got really interesting colours in it, which at the moment it's looking like the hands are going to have a lot of colour in them, which is going to bring the attention to them, which I think will actually be a good feature. That the main body is going to be darker and stronger, and then there'll be these lines coming up to the hands, which will give a feeling of power in the hands or something. So yeah, very pleased. Good day's work.
You haven't finished yet. It's only 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll be working in the Santa's Grotto. Will be open tonight. One of the great things about doing something creative is that you don't have an idea of what it's going to be at the end. You have to be open-minded about the way it's going to go, and it's partly the tree and the model guiding us to make it more of an active pose rather than just something that's sitting there looking pretty.
So you mean dynamic?
Yes, bit of active, confident purpose to it. And at the moment that's coming to the idea of having an Amazonian woman who, and obviously the Amazonian women were very feisty and self-confident and able to stand up for themselves.
So what's brought you to that kind of direction?
It's been a thread from discussing it with the other people involved in the project, including the model Kat, who spent quite a lot of time in Guatemala and is quite passionate about nature and the way natural systems work. And so I was wanting to bring that into it somehow or other, the idea of the human in nature rather than detached.
Has the tree contributed to this new direction?
Yeah, for one thing, this piece here is going to be quite tricky to work with, because you can see it's got faults in it and it's got some nice coloration from rotting. So originally we were thinking of having that as a sort of dancer's hand, and now it needs to be a strong hand like that, a fist. And as we were working with this pose, we were thinking it's actually quite a pose of throwing something out. And then when we came to the idea of the Amazonian huntress, we thought, well, how about her throwing a spear? So this is what we have at the moment. is this idea that she'll be standing there either poised to throw or having just thrown, so the spear might actually be gone and
Wow.
we just catch the effect, which is that there's something out there that she's hunting, that she's just aimed at.
That is awesome. And what's happening with the top, with the hair?
The hair, excellent. This is another thing which is all coming together, because if you were throwing something like that, as you see with my coat, I haven't got long hair, but if you go like that, then whatever you've got on that side of your body will swing round. So if she had long, savage hair, when she throws like that, her hair will swing round. So that's what we're looking at now, is this idea of movement coming from the right and the left being the one that's holding and balancing.
So we actually need to get Kat to throw something and see what happens to her hair during
Yes.
the throwing motion.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully get more into the idea of being a Amazonian princess, which I think she'll quite enjoy the idea of. Another interesting thing is this, just through cutting up here, has left a little tassely bit of cloth, equivalent in cloth here. Because one of the issues is when you're carving the human form is, do you do it the actual human form, or do you cover it in clothes which hide the human form but obviously look more polite, for want of a better word, or less erotic. So we're toying with that idea, and at the moment that seems to be coming as a sort of quite a nice native cloth, that the sort of thing that I imagine an Amazonian tribeswoman would wear.
Like a thong.
Yeah, a very simple piece of cloth, but as she's in the warm jungle and she's running, that's all she'd be wearing, and the rest of her is being in part of the natural environment.
So she looks like she's going to be quite muscular as well.
Yeah. Again, I try and keep on as much as possible, so that then the important things can be like possibly the knees. It's hard to tell when you actually got it at this stage, but I'm trying to keep those fine features that just give it that definition till the end. So she's still oversized. We're slowly getting down there. I mean, she was out here yesterday. She's come back down here, and it's still that sense of the finished sculpture is there, and we're just taking away the waste and getting down to what's actually there inside the tree. It will be revealed.